live. Hopefully. We'll have to see. It's been a while since we've done one. Well, if you're just tuning in or if you're watching this on a replay at some point in the future, this is the last live stream from the old workshop, Christ-Centered Ironworks. Oh, no one's missed it. I'm here, hopefully. Hello, Shamrock Forge. Hello, Corey Shire. Good to have you all in the house. Red Barn Forge, hello. And Daniel Crawford. Good to have you all in the house. Wait for all these people to take and start filing in here and say their hellos. Good evening, Jared Reynolds. Good to have you. Hello, Ben. Hello, all the way from Ohio right now. So, yeah, so like I said, this is the shop, man. It's kind of crazy. It's been about 8 years of forging professionally here in this shop, which is mind-boggling. And we're looking forward to where the next 8 years or better is going to happen up in Michigan. So, yeah, the shop has an echo sound for sure, like a hard echo. It's like, I don't know how bad the camera's picking up on it, but it is really bad in here. I'm like, gee whiz. It's like I'm talking in a tin can. Just like this shop is. Oh. Hey, North Country Off Grid, I appreciate you buying one of those shirts. Thank you for buying some merch. I greatly appreciate that. Thanks for supporting a small channel. Hey, Loof, Donald Roberts, hello, and hello everyone. So, hey, good that you all joined me this evening. Not going to stay on super long. Of course, I say that all the time whenever I get to talking with you guys and gals out there and start streaming. But yeah, this is a bit of a bittersweet moment for me. This whole week really has been kind of that way. Just between moving, haven't really had a time to sit down and kind of mentally process everything. But we've lived in this one location here for about 12 years. I've had all my children here. We had them all at home with a midwife, so the house is very special to me and near to my heart. But I rent where we're at, or I did rent here, and so we were able to take and find the Lord's favor and get the many blessings of being able to own a home and own a much larger workshop. So it's kind of one of those little toss-up things for us, so there's a lot of excitement about going into the new place. There's a crazy amount of work. I've got a pile of orders piling up on me, and my shop is nowhere close to actually being put together. So if you guys and gals have noticed, we haven't had a lot of content here lately, and that's one of the reasons why. So answer some questions here. Nope, no way. Hello. Jeffrey Hill, good to have you here. FFC Rick, good to see you in the house. Let's see here. Big Mickey, are you still going to be at SOFA? Yes, I'll still be coming back and forth to SOFA. I actually plan on trying to come down. I won't be able to do as many monthly meetings as I would like to, but we do still plan on coming down fairly regularly. We'll have family in this area to come back and see and visit on the regular. Also, I still have a lot of business contacts and things down here where I get good deals on supplies that it actually makes it worth my while driving the 6.5 hour drive to the south to be able to do that. So we will still be coming back and forth through Ohio. So hello, Sarah, Mike G. Good to have you in the house this evening. Oh, thanks, North Country Forge. Thank you for the congratulations. So. Yeah, I did move out of state. I moved all the way to Michigan. Yep, you see an empty shop there, Mike. Oh. Well, thank you. Hey, Bear Par Forge, or Paige, hello. Green Bee Blacksmithing, hello. Yep. So yeah, so the new place is in Michigan. If you look at the thumb. We are about right here on the Lake Huron side in a little town called Harrisville, Michigan. So, let's see here. Jeremy, Mongo 12, how long till you start up in Michigan? it's going to be a little bit. I'm anticipating about a week or two before I get back on a regular cycle of things. Um, yeah, I'm going to freeze and I'm going to enjoy every minute of it. It's going to be about a week or two before we get back set up on regular things. I'm hoping to have electricity done here in about the next 2 or 3 days once I get back up there. We're actually in Ohio right now, and we still have to haul this last load of equipment and scrap steel and coal and all that good stuff, and the last bit of our house up there. And so we'll be back up for a short bit for about a week and a half. I've got some orders that are like critical, so I'm going to just temp in some electric into certain areas just this way I can wire up some things together. You know, my buffers and grinders, they all run off a 240. There's no 240 there now, so I've got to, kind of work on that. I also have a generator as well that can put out 240 volt current, so I may just have to run off of a generator. It's not too fun to do that, but we have to do what we've got to do to get back up and running. So yeah, I've got a couple copper bowls to do. I've got a fireplace frame I'm working on that I've been working on for like ever, and so I've got a bunch of that types work to do when I get up there. So once I get everything all hooked up, after I get everything all hooked up as quickly as possible, I'll have about a week and a half, and then we come back. We do our final kind of cleaning and inspection and all that stuff of the house, and turn over keys, and then it'll be finished. And we will be going back to Michigan, and that's where we will stay. Once and for all, finally. We have put on a lot of miles in the last several months, traveling back and forth. So 53 people watching, 13 likes. Thank you for everybody who's decided to stop in tonight. I know it's late. It's just, I was just saying, you know what? I'm missing my YouTube family here, missing you guys, so I just wanted to catch up with y'all. Let's see here. Yeah, hey, Yamaz, good to see you, brother. Yeah, that would be helpful to have an actual electrician who knows what they're doing. Help out. I know how to do electrical work, but I'm probably slow as mud compared to somebody who does it all the time. In fact, I know I am. So, Metalman, hello. Thank you, Mike G. Or Paige, yep. Yeah, it's late and I have to work in the AM. LOL. Yeah, sorry about that. So, yeah, Yamaz, I'll hit you up for sure, brother. If I got any hard questions I need to have answered for sure. Yeah, it's really bare in this shop. So it looks like it looks like a really big shop, but that's kind of camera angle perspective because this is a really wide angle camera. If you haven't told, I've put on a little bit of weight. I've been stress eating. That's what I'm going to be calling it. I wish it was the wide angle perspective, but it's not. Roy's just totally put on some weight. I'm looking at myself in the camera. I'm like, oh man, Roy done got fat. But anyways, I inhabit my bigger space better now, right? But yeah, so this shop here was only 12 foot wide on the exterior. That's not interior. It was only 12 foot wide by 20 foot long was the building. That's on the exterior, furthest exterior dimensions. So it's a little less than that. It's about 11 feet or so inside dimensions by about 19 or something like that on the inside dimensions of this. And just the fabrication side of my new shop, which is my whole new shop, is going to be a 40 by 50 building. So it's a 40 foot wide by 50 foot long building, and it's a 2.5 story hay barn is what it was. So what we're going to be doing is we have a loft upstairs, and I plan on releasing a lot of videos kind of giving you the master plan of what we're planning in the long run. But the one loft area that takes up about a third, and under that loft there's concrete there. Not great concrete. It's going to have a lot of fixing that I need to do for it before it's a nice concrete shop floor. But that's going to be just the fabrication side, and that's about a third of it there. So that third of it is about 3 times what the size of this shop is. If you took 3 of these shops and put them together, basically side by side by side. That's exactly how big that is. So it's going to be a very, very big shop. Pretty big undertaking, lots of money that you don't anticipate so much spending until you get there. But I've got a lot of roof. I've got roof I have to replace. I've got siding that I have to rehab with roughs on. So there's a lot of things like that. I've got a lot of timber framing to do in it. So that's going to be fun. Yep. So this is going to be the one last time here. Yep, that's right, Manga 12. So Roy forged a ladder. No, haven't forged a ladder. Let's hear. Awesome. Yep. Yep, new beginnings. So, yep. Orvo's Armory, too big. Nope, there's no such thing as too big of a shop, I don't think. So, you can work in as little or as much of it as you want. So, yeah, there you go, Gordonshire. Yeah, from 240 square feet to 2,000 square feet. I've been needing this for a really, really long time. Hence the second U-Haul worth of junk I've hauled out of this shop. It's crazy. So. Yeah, Roy just got the forge side of Santa's workshop. Heck yeah. Now I just need to find me some elves, right? And production goes way up. Oh. Hey, Yamez, you have a great night, brother. Thanks for stopping in. Are the winters colder? I haven't went through winter in Michigan yet. They're supposed to be colder. On par with Ohio, though, it seems that Michigan's weather seems to be about 10 to 15 degrees cooler. So whatever it is here, so if it was 0 here, it would be about negative 15 in Michigan. So really not that bad. Really super not that bad. Our workshop we're putting on is 14 by 22. Awesome. I mean, that's certainly large enough. I mean, what I was doing in here was perfectly fine for a lot of the stuff I was doing, but then there was also a lot of jobs I turned down just simply because not having enough space. I've turned down a couple gates, I've turned down a couple railing jobs, I've turned down some larger sculptural work just because there's no way of fitting it into the shop, and there really wasn't no way of actually working on it. So, now it'll be nice to have a much larger shop so I can undertake more things. Plus, I can get more of the needed tools and equipment that would have helped me along the way. So, Donald Roberts. Yep, Olga made the move, definitely. Yep, 17 by 20 fills up quick. That's for sure. That's for sure. So I just saw somebody was leaving. Who was it is? Hey, Mike G, you have a great one, brother. Good luck to you. David Gray, good night, buddy. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for stopping in for this last time here at the old shop. So, all right. Time for that steam hammer, Roy. Heck yeah, Manga 12. That's what I'm talking about, my friend. I've actually been talking about getting a much larger hammer. I don't know if I'm going to buy one at some point or not. That's a little bit down the road. I'm going to keep my old shop hammer for right now. It kind of just does everything I need it to do at this moment in time. The things that I'm going to focus on most in the shop. Hi there, Frank Shop. Just want to say hey real quick. The things that I want to focus most on in the new shop is kind of more of the curb appeal of the shop. That's one thing that I've always kind of felt that this shop lacked. This was very industrial. It was very just kind of a dirty workshop for me to get dirty in every day and make cool stuff, right? And if people got to see things out the other end, they were like, whoa, that is, did not expect that item came out of there, right? So I'm trying to kind of make that curb appeal a lot better, make it more conducive to running some private classes every now and then with maybe 1 to maybe 3 students type deal, and again just really invest in the curb appeal of the thing. So that's why we're opting to keep the barn historical. It's a 100-year-old pole barn that's there now with all hand-hewn beams. Henceforth, some of the timber framing aspects that I'm going to have to do to the new shop So that type of stuff, I just love the look of it. I mean, it's gorgeous. It stood there for so long. That's why we're going to take and replace all of the siding that's on it now. A lot of it's getting pretty punky. It's just kind of rotten. No one gave it any love in the last probably decade. So I plan on giving her all the love she needs. So that's going to be fairly good. It needs a new roof put on it, sadly enough. I was kind of checking that over. The old steel roof, even though it's been painted several times, it's kind of just rusted to where you could just pinch it and peel roofing like that, the old steel roof. So, yep, so that's got to do it. Barns take a lot of money to upkeep and finish. Yep, and that's fine. I'm definitely not... Yeah, Ohio's lost. Joseph Morek. I'll still be back around. Don't worry about it. I'll still be at all the quad state events and things like that. Ohio hasn't seen the last of Roy, that's for sure. So, yeah, that's right. Ouroboros Armory. You can, old buildings and old tools. You can feel their history, and you can definitely feel every hammer stroke and every axe and adze swing that's in this place. I really like that, and that's kind of the stuff that I want to take and enhance in the shop instead of doing a concrete floor. And again, I'm going to talk about this a lot in the videos as we go along, and I do the improvements as we go. It's going to go in several stages, probably over a couple of years. Because if you haven't noticed, Roy ain't that rich of a dude. It's one of those things. It's just always kind of a work in progress, But I'm not going to do a concrete shop floor in the forging end of it. I'm actually going to do a brick floor. One, aesthetic wise, the aesthetics for the brick, and two, it's softer on the feet. So the underlayment of that and everything, the paving sand and the stuff that I'm using, it's going to be a brick floor in the forging area, and it will help absorb the shock that you get from having to stand on concrete all day long. In my old in this forge here, I had a rubber pad that I stood on all day long, and that was great until you walk over to something like the power hammer, and then you're standing on concrete all day long. It was like really annoying. So I'm going to definitely, go back to concrete. I'm not back to concrete. I'm going to definitely go to like a dirt-ish kind of floor. It's going to have brick in it, so it'll be a lot softer flooring to forge on all day long. And I've kind of got some geometric patterns and some things like that I'm looking to work into the brickwork. So that's going to be fun. Also, I plan on going with a cobblestone hearth. I want to do a whole cobblestone hearth, like a great hearth in the shop. So that's going to be a while, right? And then the actual fabrication side, that'll be in underneath the lofted area of the new shop. The fabrication side, that'll have an all concrete shop floor, just because I need to be able to level things. Eventually, I plan on getting a plasma cam cutting table. There's some other things that are going on with that. So there's stuff like that. Welding, it's always nice to have something that you can lay, a big, nice, flat floor that you can put something on and check warping and, things like that, larger work that way. So I will have a fabrication side, and then the other side is going to look very historical. So the fabrication side is going to look pretty industrial. I'll have a grinding room and some other stuff for fine polishing of copper work. And then I will have a side that is just 100% set up for pure blacksmithing and YouTube videos and content creation and just the love of the craft. And that's, I'm so looking forward to it. But we should also have some office space available as well that we're going to be making for ourselves. So this way we can have an actual proper studio space, and we don't have to bring work inside home with us. So really looking forward to that. So black collar ironworks. So I'll have plenty of room to make swords. LOL, not a chance. And unless those scrolls have a lot of, unless those swords have a lot of scrolls in the blade, you're not going to see Roy be making swords anytime soon. Yeah, concrete floors tear up your legs and back. That's for sure. That's for sure. Yeah, I just got done teaching a class down at Goshen Historical Society, Goshen Blacksmiths Historical Society, and they have a concrete shop floor in one of their buildings, and my God, that was rough. On concrete all day for 3 days, 3 solid days on a forge welding deal, and I would probably sit maybe 4 times, maybe, probably not even that, probably about 4 times. That's about right. About 4 times in a 12-hour day, and just standing on concrete all day. Man, that was killing me. So that was Goshen Blacksmith Society in Ohio. That's down in Goshen, Ohio. That I was teaching a class, and I'm planning on teaching a lot more classes down at the Goshen Blacksmith Society. One of the next ones I'm hoping to get together with the guy by the name of Jamie Gear, or Greer, if you will. I'm trying to take and get a scroll making class, doing scrolls, scroll work, and making scroll jigs to make more scrolls. That's going to be the next workshop down there, and then probably the one following that will be an ornamental sign bracket and or garden hanger. You'll kind of get your choice that way. So. Jonathan Pittman. Oh, swords are just big letter openers. No. Daniel Crawford, the Texas classes. So right now I'm not formally set up yet. I still have some things to take and work out with them, but for the Good of the Land Fest out in Texas, I will be out there, and I believe that is at the end of October. It's somewhere like I want to say it's around the 26th. It's like the 23rd through the 26th or something like that, or what is it? It's the 24th through the 26th, I think is what it is. That's out in Texas. I can't remember the name of it. I'll have to get the details. When I get the details, I'll actually make a post about that in a video, but I will actually be out in Texas, and I'm supposed to be doing something like a hands-on type deal. So I'm supposed to be helping people learn and be there to kind of interact with guys and do kind of like a more open format kind of class type deal. So we'll have to see how that works. I just have to catch up with Justin and see how that works. Hey, Herb Page, thanks for stopping in, buddy. Thank you for joining us with this last stream here in the old shop, so I appreciate that. Charming Hollow Forge, hello, good to have you here. Yep, Daniel Crawford's after September. So in September, at the end of September, I will be at SOFA Quad State, so I will be here back in Ohio again. And that's where we'll be at. Eventually, I need to get a calendar of events. If you guys haven't checked out my website over at ChristCenteredIronworks.com, or you can go over to the blacksmithpdfs.com page. If you go over there, you can click on a calendar of events, and Jessica does keep that pretty regularly updated where and when I'm going to be whenever I'm teaching classes and things of that nature. That's a great way of figuring out where I'm going to be if you guys want to come hang out or take a class that way. Yeah, Manga 12. Yeah, Jessica is with me. Dragonwater Forge. Did I get all moved? Nope. This weekend will be that last weekend to get everything moved up. So definitely looking forward to that. Getting that last go done. It has been an absolute nightmarish amount of work. Like, I'd have no clue how else to say it. It's just an absolute nightmarish amount of work. It's been backbreaking the whole way. Looking back now, I should have not have tried to be a cheapo and cheap out, I should have tried to just got some for real power equipment. Again, both to take the stuff off at the new place and to put the stuff on here at the old place. But we've been Egyptian log rolling everything up a ramp into a U-Haul and you name it, and I should have totally went out there and went ahead and got a backhoe or something like that and got started. It would have been a lot better. Well, thank you, and the correct answer is I appreciate that. So, yeah, Hans, I look forward to that too, brother. To taking it forward with you and hang out with you. Yeah, Dragon Water Forge. This is the old shop. So, press and Olga. Yeah, stuff ain't light. Like the Power Hammer, press and Olga. Yeah, actually, Olga was a pretty darn involved piece of the puzzle. Now, I won't lie, the Power Hammer was quite heavy, and I actually just dollied that up the ramp and into the thing. But woo, that was a bad ideal. It was a bad ideal to take and do that. I felt that one for sure. But that was in the last load. This load, it was the press. The press is no longer over here. That's about where this broom's at. Hopefully I don't lose connection. But it's all gone over there. Press ain't there. Drill press ain't there. Forge ain't there. This stuff that's tarped over here is actually my folks. They went out and got some workout equipment and things. So it's like a son going off to college. They're like, hey, we don't need that guy anymore. We're going to turn his room into a workout studio. So that's what's under the gray tarps. Other than if it wasn't for that, it'd be a lot more hollow sounding in here. So. But yeah, so we got big plans for the new place as well. And so thank you all for all the congrats on the new place. I really do appreciate that. But yeah, Olga, oh my gosh. Every time I go to move Olga, my anvil, holy cow. It is surprisingly heavy. It's surprisingly heavy and short and stout. It's like I like to say, I'm like, man, she's fat in the saddle, man. There's no other way of saying it. You go to yank on that thing, and your arms stay put, and your body moves, but that's about it, so. Yeah, so my folks are taking over the old shop, so. Yeah, see, Strobel, it is nuts, isn't it? It's kind of crazy. Yeah, Manga 12. Olga is 465 pounds, and she's on a 375-pound base. So the base itself was 375 pounds, and Olga's 465 pounds. And there was probably, and we didn't move it all together at once. We had to take it all off in pieces. And there was probably another 120 pounds worth of steel, like just around it, hot cuts and you name it. You know what I mean? Just around. There was probably another 120 pounds right around it as well. So it was like a lot of weight to be moving around in just one go. And that was just Olga. Not to mention the power hammer and the drill presses and torch sets and tons of stuff. So, Ben Lillingworth, what is your closest city in Michigan? The closest big city to us in Michigan is Alpena. So Alpena, if you look, again, we're about right here. Alpena's about right here. This is the tip of the mitt. This is where you would go to like Mackinac, and you cross Mackinac Bridge to go to the Upper Peninsula. We're about right here on this knuckle. Alpena's about right there on that knuckle. And then the next closest place is called Tawas, Michigan, and it's down about here to about this very first knuckle down in the mitt, and you kind of like go inland and down to Ohio that way, right after Tawas. But yeah, that's the best way I can show you. The hand map of the mitt, I like to call it. Yeah, Dragon Water Forge, you're just across the lake from me. Huh, cool. Cool. I could try to give just a small walk around in the shop. Hopefully the service, sometimes when I'm live streaming on the phone like this, if I walk around, I'll cut in and out. So if I do cut in and out, I will set it back down. Just say, hey, you're cutting in and out. Stop moving. Just yell at me. And to answer Corey Shire, it's about an hour north of the Detroit area. No, it's actually about 3.5 hours north of Detroit. So, straight up. And no offense, I'm not a big city fella, so I'm happy to be that far away from Detroit. All right, show you where we're at here. I'm going to try to give myself a little more cord. Give me a second here, ladies and gentlemen. Give myself a little more cord. As you see, don't take too much. Far from here, about 6 hours. Oh, that's not too bad. I'm about 6.5 hours from myself here in Ohio, so that's not too bad. All right, hopefully I'm not going to cut out too much. But yeah, I mean, it looks bigger than what it is, but 1 step, 2 step, I'm back to where my seat was sitting. 1 step, 2 step, I'm here where the press would have been. 1 step, 2 step, right there's the door, so it's really not that big at all. Where's Jess? Jess is taking care of the kids. She hasn't come out. So I just figured I'd do this in a quick thing. Black Collar Ironworks. It is very true. Eventually I'll be giving away some anvils. That's kind of what I want to take and do in the long run. It's not where I'm at right now. I'm still recovering financially from this move. Well, I'm not recovered yet. I have a lot of big expenses yet that wasn't quite budgeted in. So, yeah, so this is the old shop. Make sure I don't unplug myself here. All I hear backlog. This is where the gas forge used to sit. Had various punches and chisels and things like this in these boards. This was my old hammer rack. This was a very handy hammer rack. You guys seen this in a lot of videos. This right here is where Olga used to be. Not anymore, clearly. Along this wall, where all my parents' workout stuff, treadmills and whatnot. Over along this wall, that's where the power hammer was back in this corner. Torch set. Then there was a belt grinder right in here. And then when we come clear over here where this is sitting, this was like my welding area. This is where I had a welding table set up. Big tool cabinet right here. And then I had a floating buffer. I had a buffer that was kind of floating. It's not actually floating. It was something I'd float around the shop to wherever I need to get it out of the way. So, yep. Yep, so there I am. This is the shop, guys. It's about to be long gone. So there you have it. There's the tour of where I'm at so far. Let's get this chair reset. And this is like kind of lonely, this one chair. You know what I'm saying? It makes me feel it's kind of apocalyptic in a way. Excuse me, fellas. There we are. Well, thank you for the good luck with the big move, MC Carter Ironworks. I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm going to have to say that. I'm going to have to say welcome to the new workshop for a while. Oh. Richard Kent. I'm not sure how the schools are. We homeschool, so it's not too much of a big deal for us. And in fact, Michigan's homeschooling laws, for whatever reason, are actually way more lax than what we're used to even here in Ohio. And so, they're going to get along just fine when it comes to that. So, they still have programs and things that you can take and do. So, what the floor space is in meters? No, I haven't learned meters yet. Hey, we'll see you, Jeremy. Have a great evening, sir. I believe it's Jeremy from Mom Gut 12. We'll say that again. Let's see here. What is the actual dimensions of your shop? The actual dimensions of the shop is 40 foot by 50 foot is the new shop. This one is just a 12 by 20. That's outside. Hey, Cornelius Woodworks. Good to see you, brother. Your left side of your neck is sore from cranking a blower for a 3-day forge welding class. I appreciate that. Yeah. Cornelius Woodworking, there, he was in my 3-day forge welding intensive, and man, he gave it heck all weekend long. I was so proud. He was, he got weld after weld to stick, but then it popped and he just kept fighting it, and then he had forges go down on him, and then he just picked right back up with another forge, and I was really proud to see that. That is a perseverance there. So definitely a cool dude, and looking forward to having Cornelius and a lot more of my workshops. So. Steve Farley. Do Olga and Jess ever glare eyes at each other? No, they've got pretty much an agreement. When I'm out with Olga, I'm working and making Jessica money, so they've got a pretty good agreement. Excuse me. A drink there. My shop is 12 foot by 14 foot. Yeah, around 4 to 7 meters. Is that what it is, Techchromatic? Cool. Is that what the old shop was? Yeah, I don't know how you work it up, but it's like 2,000 square feet. The new shop is basically, and it's just a little over that if you consider the loft. So the loft area that I'm gaining is like 3 of these workshops. So in the loft area, that's where we're going to have offices. I plan on having a blacksmith lounge. So when people come over, like you could just sit up there and chill. It'll be like a break room. Sit up there, hang out, watch forging videos, whatever. That's going to be the deal. Also, the new shop, this is the great thing. The new house, we have high-speed unlimited internet now. So absolutely great, phenomenal internet. We get like 400 megabytes a second. Download speed, and we get 20 megabytes in a second upload. I think we get where we're at, so it's insanely fast, way better than anything we had at any point when we were doing tethering with Cricut. We were doing that for a while, and we were having the 2 camera angles. That was all running off of about 6 to 8 megabytes a second upload. So, yeah, 20, baby. I'm loving it already. So, our first stream, we had problems with the audio being amiss, and we figured out what it was. So we had our stream settings set up to run off of a Blue Yeti microphone that was in this shop, and not a lapel mic or a shotgun mic off the camera. And the thing is, you have to take and adjust the seconds of delay, the latency between the microphone and the video feed. Well, we had a preset from the days that we were doing that, and we were running that preset in OBS on that other stream, and that's why it sucked. Like that first stream that we tried up there at the new workshop, that was the problem with that stream. That was the issue. For those who were curious, because we would say something like, "Hi," and then it was like, and then you would get all the words afterwards. It was a bad Chinese flick. And I think, woo, that's not so blinding. Boy, howdy. Mystic Mac 413, I see ya. Hello. Good to see ya. So you're dividing Olga by 4 then, lol. That's funny. Yeah, I'm not going to do math on camera. I'm horrible at math on camera. I pay so much. Man, I pay so much brass tax. I pay so much like stupid tax on that whenever I do math on camera. Like I did a super quench video. That was hilarious. I messed that formula all up. I've been told like 5,000 times how I need to go back to school. And I'm like, you know what? Thanks, guys. Thanks. I appreciate that. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I probably do. It's all right. Some people got some tact and candor, and other people are like, we're gonna bash you and call you everything but the nice guy you are. So. Oh, I'm sorry you missed my videos in the morning. I plan on getting back to them. And Mystic Mac, we're still in the process of moving. That's why there hasn't been any more videos. I do have about 6 or 7 videos in the tank and a lot more to come on that. And then I have a whole bunch that I plan on working to take and kind of show the process as I kind of go along a little bit. There'll be more like a vloggy type thing. I was trying to not do vlog type stuff, but right now, with as much work as I have to do to get back to just like regular, to get back to just like regular smithing videos, if you will, there's just a bunch. There's just a bunch of work. I'm one dude. I've got a lot of orders I've got to pump out the door, and everything's going to be very hodgepodge just to do that, so I can make my living and get the business back up and running on the right track and on the right foot of things. But I do still I still have a lot of videos on the docket to make that I'm promised out for, like the swedge block anvil stand. I have to do that. Yep, I gotta take and do that. I have to get that swedge block anvil back on a stand, get it secured, and then so I can actually show that video, that whole build process. So I've got stuff like that to do. I recently did a job where I polished I call it like a king tut head, a pharaoh's head. It was some sort of sculpture, brass sculpture. Took on an odd job just out of spur of the moment. It was just one of those things. I've done business with the guy for just a decade, so I decided to go back and he just needed something polished. So I'm like, all right, I'll do it. Let's go for it. Even though I really didn't need to do that, I kind of needed more stuff going south. So, can't talk right. Hey, cool, Carrie S. Thank you for being here. I'm glad the content's helped you. There's a lot out there. Thank you, Steve Farley, for that. I appreciate that. My skills are strong, man. Are strong, man. Math doesn't solve all life's problems. That's right. Haley, is that it? Haley Castella. Good to see you. Hello. Hey, buddy. How's it going? Hi, cousin. Yeah, I just heard you got your first home. Congratulations on that as well. So, all right, I think I'm caught up there. No problem. I have to do the same thing with my podcast. You're okay in my book. Put the whole world okay. I hate writing. Yeah. Writing's not a strong suit of mine either. There's a whole lot of things that aren't really strong suit. If I want to be completely candid, I wish there was. Maybe someday I'll work on it. But let's face it. You get to be about 30 years old or older, and a lot of the things you say, oh yeah, I'm going to work on that someday. You're just not as important anymore. You don't have to worry about that. So. Hey, we'll catch you later, Technomatic. Thanks for stopping in. Metal Man, good night, buddy. Thank you all for at least stopping in. Thanks for hitting that like button, showing up. Really do appreciate it. Doug P. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I didn't see you come in, Doug P. But thank you for being here. Hello. I'm looking forward to all the good things in store as well. Where am I at in Michigan? So I'm about right here on the knuckle in Michigan, on the mitt here. I'm about 2 hours away from Mackinac, roughly, somewhere in there. I'm not quite sure what it is. In Central State, it's different than if you're going up 23. But I am on Lake Huron side, about 4 miles inland in a little town called Harrisville, Michigan. And somebody asked earlier, what was the, let's see here, Steve Farley, what's the major point, what's the major decision in the move? Well, I was able to purchase our home, so that was a big one. Two, much larger workshop, 10x, almost 10x the size of this shop as well. It was within our price, it was within our budget, so we could take and buy it, which is great. And yeah, it's just been time. We've been looking for years. We've been looking for years, absolute years. About 7 we've been saving. We've been saving solidly, like shoestring budgets for like 7 years, man, to save up for this. And we've been able to finally do it by the grace of God. It just, everything kind of clicked and worked, and you're like, okay, well, that's what's going on. That's what's going on now. So that's what we decided to take and do. And yeah, it was the right move. We were thinking about possibly leasing a space somewhere in Dayton, Ohio, or trying to buy just a shop space somewhere, like a retail / industrial type area that we could just buy something. That way I could get the expansion needed, that I've been suffering from for at least the last 4 years. For the last 4 years, I've needed to expand, but we've just held off. We've just taken that money that we would have used to try to expand something, knock out a wall, build a bigger building, whatever. We've just taken that money and we've just put it back in savings. Save, and save some more, until we could afford this place. So, and it just popped up out of the blue, and hey, you just got to go for it. Just got to go for it. Yep, the Lord has blessed us absolutely abundantly. Blessed and highly favored just comes to my mind, when I think about that. And, it's definitely not a brag on ourselves by no means. It's just one of those things. It's just one of those things I'm just kind of proud of the diligence that it's took along the way. It's been a long journey. It's going to be a long journey yet, but I think it's going to be great, and I think it's something that is going to be great for you all as well, to kind of just see how that journey progresses. And it really is possible. You can set your mind to something. Yes, you can have a business. Yes, you can follow your dreams. Yeah, you can still have those things in life that you're wanting to get after. And that's kind of a real humbling and kind of surreal thing for us, is that, like, believe it or not, like, I hope no one's taken this. I'm just going to be real candid with the camera here for a second, since we got 55 people watching, and I do this from time to time, but, like, don't take us not posting videos as, I feel bad about that almost, just because, I feel like we've abandoned our YouTube community and our family there. It's just one of those deals. I just ran out of time. There's just one of me, and I'm praying and believing that God he'll put that right time frame when we can just start making really good stellar content. I don't want to waste your guys' time with hey guys, look at me, I got a cup of coffee, still on the road, I'm 300 miles from wherever. That to me, that doesn't make the most spicy content in the world. And you guys ultimately have subscribed to the channel to learn blacksmithing or learn techniques in that. But also, I think a lot of you that are watching this stream have stayed on the channel because of the community aspect, because of us, actually caring about you. And I hope that keeps coming across. I hope that keeps coming across. It's something that, again, I feel like I've been totally slacking. Well, I know I've totally been slacking, totally neglecting, the duties. I feel very humbled by the fact that there's 44,600 and something another of you guys and gals out there that watch this crazy channel. I feel humbled that, there's, with perseverance, there's over 1,200 videos of content here on YouTube to take and enjoy in that time frame that we're gone. Maybe catch up. Well, try to catch up anyhow. I just, I think it's a very surreal, very humbling thing, and to just think that all those videos was shot here. You know what I'm saying? Like all of those videos were shot here, and I'm ecstatic to try to see where those next 1,200 videos are going to come from, and I hope everybody can stick with us. I hope everybody can enjoy the content going forward. And I actually encourage people, if you look at one of our last dated videos, our last tutorial based videos, I would like for you all to try this. Anybody who's in the stream tonight, if you get a little extra time, go on the channel and search our earliest video. I mean, like just as old as you can go. Try to find the oldest video you can go, and it's really cool to see. But check out the kind of the evolution from the beginning where we were at. The growth is what I want to say. The growth, the actual growth, personal growth that I have went through and undertook from the very beginning of this channel all the way till now. It is like it's night and day. I cringe. I'm like, ooh man, Roy, you're so bad, dude. Like, oh man, how did I say that? How did I do that? Ugh. Like my very first videos, I was like, "Hi, I'm Roy. Welcome back to the workshop. Today we're gonna make this." It was like I was angry at people. I was so uncomfortable with the camera. It wasn't even funny. And then, you get now, and obviously I'm like jovial, I'm laughing, and I'm cutting it up with my brothers out there and sisters, 53 of y'all, on a live stream like this. So it's like it's no big thing. But if this would have been, like, way back in the day when this whole shindig started in this workshop, I'd have been like, "What are you talking about, Willis? What are you doing to that? Why are you all here? Why are you wasting my time?" So you guys gotta check. You guys gotta check that out if you can. It's fun. It's a fun little trip down memory lane. Just go back to some of my earlier ones. I don't even know which ones to point you to. But one of the earlier ones, actually, some of the very first videos. I don't know if y'all know this on this channel. Some of the very first videos were slideshows with like really cruddy music. They were like just slideshows, picture slides. It's funny as all get up. You just watch it. It's great. And I'm not trying to get you to just get more views. I mean, obviously that's awesome too. But yeah, it's just a fun little thought experiment from there to now. So I'm looking forward to Michigan and where we're going to go as a channel together in that next evolution of that, and the next evolution of me and the projects I plan on undertaking and the things I plan on teaching, and I'm really looking forward to that. So yeah, Doug P, my teaching style has definitely changed. I think I've softened up quite a bit. I guess self-evaluating, I think I have softened up quite a bit on my teaching style, and I think that's come a little bit with age. I think that's come a little bit with age in the fact of understanding that if somebody thinks I'm dead wrong about something, I don't really have to care. I don't really have to try to change their mind. I'm not an authority by no means on the subject of blacksmithing. I do know my stuff. I do know enough to do what I do. So, I mean, that's good enough. But it's kind of like comparing apples to oranges. So if somebody's doing something else and it works for them and that works great, good for them. Way to go. I think when I started teaching, it was kind of just more of my way or the highway, or that kind of mentality. Now in my shop, it's still that way. I mean, if you're coming out to my shop, it's my house, my rules. You know what I'm saying? That's the way it's going to be. But like when it comes to the teaching side of things, if I get a student who just has no interest in learning, I don't have to teach them. I don't have to sweat that so much. I'll just focus on the students that want to listen the best. And so that's ultimately what we do. And so like here, just doing YouTube channel, just doing YouTube tutorials, I am working towards the people who love this channel. The people who love what we do here, what we support, right? That sort of thing, that's who I'm interested in catering to anymore. And if I do get an occasional hater that gets under my stuck in my crawl, if you will, if I do have something like that, I can usually blow it off and just be in a jovial atmosphere about it. I mean, I may mention it in a video, but it's more along the line of like, look at that guy, one of those sort of deals. So it's a little different. Yeah, black collar ironworks. Yeah, you're no longer constipated with your words. Love you too, bro. Thanks for that. Yeah, Scott Ham. I can't wait either. Thank you for being here, by the way, sir. Yeah, the evolution of my rants. That ought to be something fun to see, huh? Yep, Green Bee Blacksmithing. That's exactly right. If you have someone in your shop and they're not interested in learning, why are they there? And you'd be surprised. And I think what it is, I think people come into blacksmithing, forging. Maybe they even come into my shop or come into a class I teach with kind of wrong expectations. Maybe they expect that they will instantly be able to pick up what they've seen me do on camera, or instantly be able to pick up everything I'm laying down, right? Like if I'm telling you something, I'm talking about, I don't know, how to do a scroll, right? I'm talking, okay, you're going to do it like this, and it's more of this, and blah, blah, blah. I know I won't get into it, but say I'm giving some technical mumbo jumbo about doing scrolls. Somebody has that concept in their head that they should just be able to do it as easy, and then they kind of impart that back if it doesn't work out for them as well, and then they kind of go in lockout mode. And I've kind of seen this several times, actually. I've seen this several times in different classes I've taught. They don't pay attention to the instructor based upon, because they're still kind of like they're caught up in their own methodology, and they can't break from it. So that happens, that happens, and there's really not much you can do about it. So you can't, I used to take that personally. I used to take it personal, as in not like personal insult. I used to take it as like I was a horrible instructor if not everybody was at the same playing field. And I kind of transfer that onto YouTube, right? And if somebody was in disagreement with something that maybe I had said, it's like, well, blah, 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 blah. I felt like I needed to somehow get everybody in perfect harmony. Never going to do that. We live in too big of a world with too many people and too many different ways of looking at things. So definitely can't do that. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I think I've changed a lot. I think I'm growing a lot. I keep growing. I'm 30 years old. If you think that you can't learn something new, if you think that you can't continue to grow, in my opinion, you're dead wrong. You can always grow. You can always learn. You can always change. You can always reinvent yourself and the way that you do things and the way you feel about things, for sure. Peg City Forge. Hello, Roy from Peg City Forge in Canada. Now that you have the space, what's the first thing you want to add to the shop now that you have the space? Great question. Space in between tooling. That's a huge one for me. It's driven me nuts that everything's been packed it's just like here, and then there's another piece of equipment there, and there's just no wiggle room between things. So I'm looking forward to having that space in between tooling. Having this tool over here, and 3 or 4 feet over, I have another tool that I can get around. I can maintenance easier. Just so many things like that are going to be just great about the new shop. One of the next things, I guess you would say a practical sense of things that I would look for to take and get in the new space. Tooling wise, I'm looking at, gosh, that's a tough one. Maybe a bigger power hammer. I might be going for a much bigger power hammer. That's probably what I'll be looking forward to do. But more practically speaking, I'm looking forward to having a great big cobblestone hearth. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to having a brick floor. I'm looking forward to having this dramatically beautiful shop space that I've wanted for so long and just have not been able to invest the time or capital into making. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's kind of my big thing. But if I had to pick another piece of tooling, it would probably just be a much larger power hammer. And probably a mechanical helve like a Bradley. And if we have to get specific, a 500-pound Bradley guided helve strap hammer. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. Yeah. Yeah, just a kid. As long as one is not the Gordon Ramsay of smithing, all is fine. Yeah, I'm not a Gordon Ramsay of smithing. Yep. And never as easy as it looks. 700-pound anvil. Nidavellir Forge? I don't think so, sir. Olga's going to be with me for a really long time. Okay, cool. Further on Forge, you have a great question there. What is some of the things I hope to make first in there? So I've already straightened out, like, you'll see in a video, but I've already straightened out some barn tracking, slide doors for barn doors. So I don't know if that counts really as smithing, but I kind of already straightened out some of that and some strapping and brackets and things. But probably the first thing that I'm going to enjoy making and making video around will be a hewing hatchet, a hewing axe, a timber slick. That's what I was looking for. I plan on making all of those items. And then I also plan on doing a couple old school chisels, different carpenter type chisels and things of that nature. Basically all for stuff for doing like timber frame type stuff, because there's some timbers that I need to replace and some timber framing I need to do and some hewing of some new beams. So I'm kind of looking forward to making those things. I do have plans on doing some very ornate ironwork for Abana 2020, so I'm still on track for that, hopefully, once I get into the new shop. So there's going to be a lot of different things like that. Yes, it counts for smithing. I'm going to make the timber slick. Oh, and for the Honor Forge. Yeah, I'm going to make sharp things, but not pointy things. There's a difference. I'm planning on making all of the tools that I just before mentioned out of wrought iron with high carbon steel bits welded in. I'm probably going to stick with something around a 1075 for a bit. And I say a bit, so like a bit and an axe, or the cutting edge of a chisel, and or something of like the timber slick. Same thing. Roy wished you made maker stamps for leather. Huh, that's kind of neat. I don't know anything about leather crafting or leather work, so it'd be kind of tough for me to make tooling for a trade I'm not super familiar with. I'm pretty sure you use it while it's wet, and it's just you kind of just boss it, just whack it, and it kind of bosses into the piece. I'm assuming that's how that works, but that would be neat. Thank you, Shaping Silver. Appreciate that. Oh. Scott Ham, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, you just got to start somewhere, Scott. Darren Crawford, man, where did you find that much wrought iron? I actually got that wrought iron at Quad State, believe it or not. There's a man there that takes and sells it every year. He brings down about 400 or 500 pounds of it, and it comes from a bridge that was tore down in 1906, or it was a bridge that was constructed in 1906 and was tore down in the early 2000s, and he was using that. So, am I presenting? Rob Ho, am I presenting at Quad State? No, I've never been formally asked to take and present at Quad State. That's kind of one of those deals that you have to be invited by the board to take and do that. I have served in many different capacities at Quad State, helping out with different things. Here recently, last couple years, I've done invocation at the start of Quad State. A couple times I've managed a couple areas kind of did a working thing at Quad State. I did a couple of those inadvertently. And before then, I was the newsletter editor of, of Sofa Sounds, which was the club's quarterly newsletter. So I did that for a period of time as well. Well, for about 3.5 years or so. So. Yeah, Jonathan Pittman. A draw knife would be a great addition to my wood tools. Yep, it sure would. It would indeed. Yeah, the only place to get wrought iron these days is to take and look for it. You can find it on wagon wheels. You can find it sometimes at the scrapyard in old ironwork. Excuse me. You can find it in old ironwork that's been tore out, like gates, railings, things of that nature. You can also find it sometimes in bridge format, large cross sections of bar. Usually it'll look pretty pitted up and kind of mangled. And if you look at the end grain of it, you can usually see kind of like some swirling. It'll have like dark spots, lighter spots, dark spot, lighter spot, and maybe have some inclusions in it. You can find wrought iron that way as well. So. Thank you, John Jude. So, I appreciate that. I'll be a Buckeye at heart. Is there a lot of blacksmiths in your new area? Mistimac 413? Nope, there is not. There is one that I met at a class. Ooh, gee whiz, man, what is wrong with me this evening? I must have worked really hard today. There is one that's within about 2.5 hours or so of me, a little over 2.5 hours, about 2 hours and 45 minutes of me, that I met at a blacksmithing class I was taking with Douglas Pryor, doing some chasing and repousse work. That's how they call it. We call it repose here in America, but it's actually technically, I was corrected, pronounced repousse. Anyways, so I was doing that type of work at a class here recently, and I met a guy. That was about that far away, but it seems like everyone is about 2.5 to about 3 hours away, no matter which way I slice it. Mountaineers, Roy. Making you yawn. Yeah, the closest blacksmith guild is, again, it just jumps around. There is a Michigan Artist Blacksmith Association, but it doesn't have a solid spot like SOFA. They just bounce around to different guys' shops. So hopefully I plan on getting a part of them and hopefully hosting them at the new workshop at some point. Colin Show. I finished building my new forge. It's awesome. Cool. I should make a bell for the shop. Huh, that's interesting. I never thought about making a bell. Well, I did. I have seen those before made out of like oxygen cylinders, things like that. Spencer Coots, I am in Harrisville, Michigan. So also, if everybody wants to take, if you have anything that you are trying to ship, the new P.O. Box area is P.O. Box 516. So you want to send it to Christ Centered Ironworks at P.O. Box 516, Harrisville, Michigan 48740. That's the area code. That's a great place to go there. How close is that to South Bend? I don't know. If you know where Alpena is, I'm on Lake Huron side. I'm over here, about this far on the knuckle. I'm not sure where South Bend is. I think it's down here, but not sure. It's up here. About 4 to 5 hours to South Bend. Okay. Yeah. So I'm about right here. Alpena's about right here. Mackinac is about right here. Mackinac is about 2.5 hours or so away from us. Huh. Cool. Oh, South Bend is in Indiana. I got you. I got you. Haha. Cool. Eric Stencil. No more Colorado? Question mark. Never was in Colorado. I've been in Ohio. Just across Lake Michigan from me in Wisconsin. Huh, cool. Yeah, I think to the other coast, if I were to travel directly across from where I'm at, I think it's like 3 hours from here to here. It's about 3 hours across Michigan there, somewhere in there. And yeah, and then it's a lot longer to go up and around, or very expensive to take the ferry across. Philip B., I'm going to miss my cousin as well. Yeah, Eric Stetzel. Love that, man. Love to do a hammer in someday. It seems like all the northern guys are kind of like spread out. I like it. I mean, it's cool. I'm not afraid to travel. I'm not afraid to drive or whatever. I know people who live in Wisconsin as well. One of those guys, Tom Latney. Tom Latney lives in Wisconsin, so great guy. Check him out. He lives in Pepin, Wisconsin. There's a few other people who live out there as well. So I need to make a trip over into Wisconsin as well. So. Well, thank you, Will Stricken. I am going to love it up there. And by the way, is this Eric Stencil from Stencil Iron? I think it is. Follow you, brother, on it on Instagram. Wisconsin, the other across the pond. A pretty big pond, too, might add. Yep, have all the business paperwork already taken care of. So, cool. Stats Lyron. Good to see a familiar face. I thought it was you, but you never know. Some people take several different screen names, Oh, cool. Yeah, it's a bittersweet view, so. Aimless Adventurer, a whole lot, like an hour and 13 minutes worth. Oh. So, and also, just to kind of point it out there, in case anybody's noticed or hasn't noticed just yet, I am not a big football guy. So I don't watch football. I don't keep up with football. So I've had several people who are like, oh, traitor, about the Buckeyes, Ohio State Buckeyes and things like that versus like the Michigan, whatever they are. I don't know. Is it just Michigan State? Is that all it is? I'm clueless. Anyways, yeah, I work for a living and I work hard and I work 6 days a week. And when I'm not working, I'm making YouTube videos and that's working. And when I'm not making YouTube videos, I'm editing YouTube videos and that's working. And when I'm not doing that, I'm taking care of the wife or kids. So I don't usually get time to just sit and go cheer on a bunch of sweaty dudes hammering each other, you know what I'm saying, into the dirt, into the AstroTurf. So I don't keep up with any of that. So no affiliation. Yay team. Yay team. Hooray Cougars or whatever, Bears or whatever you want to call them. Yeah, I really can't forge a football. Oh. Boiler up, hammer down, the real blacksmithing school. Wolverines, that's what it is. That is more important than sports. Yeah, I think so. I like to stay pretty busy. I don't blame you. The Browns. What else you gotta say? I mean, it is true. I mean, it's just a bunch of sweaty dudes hammering each other. Boom, big dudes into the dirt. I don't have time. Like at one time, I did like football. Way back when I lived in Colorado, and this is way back, and like when Elway was still quarterback of the Denver Broncos, and that was my thing then. But then I got a job, I had a life, and I got out there and I dated. I got into dating, and then I realized women cost money. And my sports addiction slowly went downhill from there. 2 words: boomer sooner. Whatever that is. That would be cool. Maybe that's what I would do. Nidavellir Forge and Woodcraft. Got to go to Mackinac City. I actually traveled through. I actually traveled from Wisconsin. Actually, it was just outside of Wisconsin. We were in Minnesota for the class, just south. Oh, what was this? This would have been a week and a half ago. Yeah, about a week and a half ago. We just finished up a class with Douglas Pryor out at a little, kind of unknown craft school called Tunnel Mill. We finished up a class with him that was just south of Rochester, Minnesota. And so we drove all the way through Wisconsin, went all the way up, basically followed Lake Michigan all the way up and around, up into the Upper Peninsula, and then drove the entire Upper Peninsula and come down through Mackinac City there, came down. We didn't stop. We didn't see a ton of it. But then we came down through, it's 23 north. You take that south on 23 south through Alpena and down to Harrisville. And we were home there. And we were only home for about a day and a half. And we had to turn around and got my class materials to go teach this forge welding intensive that was last weekend. So come straight back down here to Ohio. And so now I got that finished up. Now I'm wrapping everything up in this shop. Got it all finished, cleaned out today. Got a few things inside the house. And now we go back up to Michigan on Sunday. So it's been one heck of a ride. Yeah, the whole area is gorgeous up there. See, Strobel. You're right, buddy. Women definitely cost money, that's for sure. Yeah, Corey Shire. Michigan is a gorgeous state. I like it. So, what's the new shop look like? Eric, it is gorgeous, my friend. It's a 100-year-old, 2.5-story hay barn that was erected. I don't know when, and it was kind of in a bit of rough shape. It's going to be in a lot better shape after I get it all said and done. But I will be having some new videos coming up here soon. In fact, I've actually got some of the videos I still got in the bank. Sorry, you just reminded me of this. Some of the videos I still have in the tank are from this shop. So it's going to look like, wait a minute, Roy just moved back in. No, those are older videos that I just haven't released yet. So they will come out for you guys. Just a heads up. Don't be like, wait a minute, he moved back in. What's going on? No, we moved to Michigan. Those are just held over videos from projects just before we started this whole moving thing, because we haven't been putting out videos here recently. But after that, there'll be a lot of new videos where I'm going to do entire walk-arounds on all that good stuff. So thank you, Dana Pets. Appreciate that. Look forward to seeing you soon. Yeah, I'm gonna need a new. I'm gonna need a new Jeep for sure. Oh, little tugboat's working pretty good. Sully's out of here. Good night, Sully. Thanks for being here. Didn't see you go. Thank you. Congrats on it. New motto, Mitch. I can. LOL. Mitch, I can. LOL. Who carried the monster anvil? That was a team effort. A team effort. And Egyptian log rolling. Lots of Egyptian log rolling. That was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't need to go back into that, but it was just a lot of weight. Every time I move that thing, I said, that's the last time I'm going to move you, girl. And I lie. So. Hey, and good morning to all. The new shop looks, or the shop looks a bit empty. It sure does, JH. It's empty. I actually gave a tour there not too long ago. Hopefully I didn't cut up. I didn't see anybody say I was cutting out. But, yeah, this over here, this just, my parents have moved in some exercise equipment. Yeah, well, that's the old shop. There's not much to see. I'm sitting by the front doors. I figured it'd make it more dramatic. You know what I'm saying? More of a dramatic effect. Woo! This feed's not refreshing. Going back up where it needs to be. Yeah, it's 2,000 square feet. What else needs to be said? That's funny. Coreyshire, yeah. Cool. No cutting out. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. You said Third Coast Craftsman is mid to northern Michigan. You guys should try to do a smithing and woodworking combo video. Huh. That'll be interesting. So that's Third Coast Craftsman. THRID Coast Craft. Sorry, writing that down. Hey, I'll see. That might be interesting. I think he is north of Kalamazoo. Hey, Ben Illingworth, thank you. Or Lillingworth. Is it Lillingworth? Illingworth? Billingworth? I don't know. Have a great night as well. Sorry, totally butchered name. You're going to start making and selling some hammers? Karmakazi said. I make very fancy hammers. If you want to get a hammer with me, you gotta go to my Etsy page or go over to my website, check that out. I do make custom hammers, but they are wall hangers. They're very pretty hammers, and so therefore they're fairly expensive. But if you want to go check those out, you can. I don't do anything rough. Don't do any rough forging hammers. Yeah, I can say I was born in a barn. That's a good one. Yeah. So when your new ironwork leaves the door open, you can say you were born in a barn. Yeah, that's for sure. Hey, Night, Scott, him. Thank you. Thank you for stopping out. Guy Perry, hello. Hey, God bless you, Isaac W. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I like Michigan so far. I like the cooler weather. I like the cooler climes. There's some things like the auto insurance sucks. Like, I mean, I wasn't too happy about that. Went from full coverage to like I don't know what coverage I got with auto insurance. So that's going to take some while to learn that and figure that out. But you know, I mean, that's kind of everywhere you go. Neat thing is, I did get an enhanced driver's license, so I can go to Canada now. I can actually go across the border to Canada, and I actually believe Mexico. Believe it or not, I can actually go down to Mexico if I wanted to, and I don't need to actually get like a formal passport to do so. So that's pretty cool. Which I've wanted to take and visit some friends up in Canada for a while, but it's always been like, it's such a hassle. I gotta get a passport, so I've never did any of that. So. Will Strickland, yeah, you nailed the insurance. Yeah, it was the insurance. I'm like, what is going on with this goofy insurance here? Like in Ohio, you get like full coverage, right? Like you get like, I mean, everything's like covered. You can buy full coverage. If something falls on the roof of your car and crushes it to oblivion, you can just be like, oh, it got crushed. Get me a new car, and they basically pay it. You go to Michigan, and I don't even know what my policy. I don't even know what that thing is. It has a thousand and a half different things going on there. So I'm like, whoa. Dragonwater Forge. Where are my friends in Canada? I always forget the name of the place, but it is this side, the eastern half, the big city that's on the eastern half there, above Niagara there. Niagara Falls. Gosh, it doesn't sound like I have friends in Canada, does it? I guess that's how far I've pushed it out of my mind. Like, yeah, okay, that's nice information. I'll never come see you because, yeah, Toronto. There you go. Boom. There you go. Yes, sir. Toronto. That's what I was going to say. Definitely. Do they? Yeah, that would be fun. Monkey with a hammer, come up there. Do they test emissions up there? I don't know. I don't know if they test emissions or not. Not gonna let them test my emissions. I already own my Jeep, so. Horror and Ironworks. I recently dragged my Jeep off to the scrapyard. No more insurance. No more Jeep. Poor way of going. Aimless adventure. I want a hammer to use for the zombie apocalypse. A pretty hammer would be awesome. Hey, whatever you're into. As long as you can afford the price, I'll make you whatever you like. Whether you're mashing zombies or you're mashing iron. Or if you're just taking and putting it, or just putting it up on the wall. Once it leaves this doorsteps, I just don't want to know. Once it leaves the shop, that's a good rule. I'll just put that out to you guys out there. Whenever you all are making something for clients or making something for customers, just remember that they may not necessarily have the same thought processes that you do about life and a whole lot of other things. And so, take it with a grain of salt. Realize that you're making things, right? You're just making things. You're turning metal into other types of metal that have various uses, usefulnesses, or you're shining them up and turning them into pretty things. A lot of the stuff I do, I just make pretty things. So, if somebody wants a flower, I don't care what walk of life or background they're from, I just make them a flower. And that's just kind of how it works. So, if somebody wants a zombie mashing weapon or whatever, and I just... Okay, well, it looks like a hammer with a spike on it with a thing that has something else. Okay, cool. I'll make that. Daniel Crowley. Well, I'm proud owner of an awesome Roy hammer. It's a little treasure I relish. Yep, that's awesome, Daniel. Thank you. I'm glad it's still working good for you. Even a sword? No swords. Even I have standards. Hey, a hammer's a good choice for an anti-zombie weapon. Yep. It won't tire out as long as you don't. Will Strickland, I don't do a lot of normalization. I mean, I do regular normalizing, but a lot of times if I have something super critical, which I don't work with that super critical of steels. You know what I'm saying? So that's not something... Whoa. That's a big thumb. That. I don't work with steels that have some really critical temperature ranges that you need to take and achieve, really special heat treatments or anything like that. So I really couldn't care less how cold it is. And really, quite honestly, I don't think the steel does either. If you think about it, so let's say the shop is let's say it's negative 20 degrees outside, right? And you pull a bar of steel out that is at 1800 degrees, or say somewhere around, say, 1600 degrees, right? Which is getting a little closer towards that, hardening and tempering step. Let's say you got 1600 degrees. That negative 20 is no different than if it was 0 degrees. That steel can't really tell the difference. I'm sure that there's a point that it does, but I bet you it's marginal at best. It would have to be a severely cold temperature difference in order for that steel to kind of know that difference. In my opinion, is what I'm thinking. So, like, if you had oil, let's say you were hardening. Let's say if you were hardening something in oil, or you were hardening something in water per se, right? Yeah, it's going to be a lot faster quenchant if the water is like ice, super ice cold, right? You would think that it's going to be a lot harsher of an environment to quench in, but is it going to really? It's going to really move the needle that much? I don't know. It probably does. Probably has some effect, but again, the steels that I use, I don't use anything that is too critical. Nothing. I think the most critical thing I use is 5160, which is a spring steel, and I'm assuming it's 5160. It's coil spring. So, yeah, the Stick to Cricket live stream. It's the little one you made. I'm glad you appreciate it, buddy. And I hope it still keeps holding up for you and doesn't fall apart. Matthew Hart, hello. Hey, you're welcome, Will Strickland. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to rant on you or run my mouth too much about that. Yeah, shop might be warm anyways. I don't know. That's another thing. I find it very interesting. I find it very interesting. The subject will always come up. The subject will always come up like preheating anvils. I know guys who do. I know plenty of people who do. John Switzer over at Black Bear Forge does. He's a pretty credible guy. He likes to preheat his anvil as well. There's a lot of guys I've seen like what I just consider dumb. Somebody's got a couple weed burners running on their anvils and things like that, all in an effort to heat up and not lose as much heat and things of that nature. And I kind of find a lot of that stuff to just be a little. Doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me because the steel is so hot and the time that it's spent at the anvil is very relatively small in comparison to how much time that anvil spends in an ice cold shop. So, yeah, it's very interesting. Good to have you, Matthew Hart. I'm glad you're a new guy here, so. Will Strickland, I experienced negative 70 degrees Fahrenheit with the wind chill in northern Michigan. Could feel my eyes freezing. Holy cow. Yeah, well, I hope I'm not forging in that type of weather. If you got that kind of weather, you probably shouldn't be outside digging and smithing. I'm not going to be outside. Let's just be honest here. Negative 70 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to be straight up staying warm. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be out worrying about heat treating steel that day. I don't think so. And now you're dealing with 120 degrees in Phoenix. Oh my gosh. You need to find a nice middle of the road belt, brother. The Jedi Smith Roy. I don't know about an aimless adventurer, but I appreciate the sentiment for sure. Yeah, negative 70. I'm like, ooh, geez. I like work and I like money, but not that much. We'll be staying inside. 100 degrees there. Woo. Yeah. I'm just not into being in the heat either. So, but yeah. So let's say you want to preheat an anvil. I'll get asked this about 1,000 times, it's kind of ignorant to think that I'm going to be able to heat any part of Olga acting as a heat sink. 465-pound anvil sitting on a 375-pound base and sitting on concrete or a dirt earthen floor. That thing is just made to be a heat sink. It's just going to grab heat. I've worked 10 hammer billets in one day. That was the most amount of hammer billets I worked in one day. And those were like 2 and 3 pound hammers on Olga. And it barely got up to the point where, if you put your hand on it, it was warmer than body heat. So, I mean, and that was in a regular day. That was like a 70-degree day. So, if it's negative 40 outside, there's no hope in preheating the anvil. So you're not going to take and throw the heat on it and torch it to heck and back and things like that. So have I found a good place to purchase coal nearby the new shop? No, I haven't, Jonathan. I've not found a good place to buy coal or purchase coal yet. I think I'm probably going to go with coke more than likely. I'm probably going to make the full switch to just doing coke, working with coke forges instead. Just to be a little nicer to the neighbors and things that are around. I mean, I'm not living close to anybody right close, but I also don't want to be that guy that's like smoking up the entire countryside with coal smoke. So I'm probably going to make the switch to using coke. And so I'll be running just basically metallurgical coke. And I will probably have to drive 6 hours to the south here. I've got a buddy who gets that in, and he uses that predominantly. He uses coke. He buys it in, he gets a good rate, and then we split it. So I'll probably just keep on doing that and just go back and forth. Haven't been out that way in years. Yeah. Okay, Alpena should have some as well. Lots of coal up there. Okay, cool. Hey, Aurora and Ironworks. Cool. I'm glad that burner's working out good for you. Would you try anthracite? Dragonwater Forge, I'm really not interested in anthracite. I've done anthracite. I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm not a huge fan of it on a lot of different levels, and they're kind of more for the... It's not just because it's like a fanboy thing. It's not like, oh, well, I'm just dead set against trying something new. In my experience, I'll be very small. I'll just put that very small. My experience with anthracite has been that anthracite doesn't really coke up, so it doesn't get porous. And I think I'm not sure. This is speculative, so I don't have any grounds to back this up. I think the reason for that being is you can't get anthracite hot enough, or you can't get it condensed heat enough to actually get it to coke up great. And when I'm talking about coking up is getting that surface area. It gets that pitted surface. It gets that spongy-like surface texture to it that coke has. That is a great insulator, and that great insulator also eats oxygen. And so what I have seen as a prevalent problem that goes with everybody out there that's using anthracite is overscaling of their material and putting too much oxygen basically in the fire to keep a hot fire going, and it just scales up their pieces. So that's what I've seen, and so I try to stay away from that. Hey, Nettler Forge, thanks for stopping in, brother. Have a great evening. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I might still be schluffing coal from sofa, Corey. You're right. Cool, Green Bee Blacksmithing. Cool that you're finding somebody close. Yeah, so that's my thoughts on anthracite. I've done a couple comparison vids. I've even said I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy. It's just, that's just me, just basically just being funny, just kind of jacking around a bit. But some people take pretty big offense to that because they're using anthracite. And if anthracite's all you got in your area, go ahead. But I'd rather drive 6 hours and pick up coal, real blacksmith coal. There. Okay, sorry. That's derogative again. What they consider blacksmithing coal, which is bituminous or bimunous or bituminous or however you want to call it, I don't care. Blacksmithing coal, or what we call soft coal. I'd rather have that kind of coal myself. Now I do like coke when it's just been like straight up coke that you can buy, like a metallurgical grade coke. Really like that stuff. I hate getting it started. It's not as fun. Yeah, you can't walk away from it, so you can't bank a fire like you can with green coal. But the benefits is you don't realize how much soot and smoke green coal puts off before it gets coked up. Yeah, it puts off a ton in comparison to metallurgical grade coke. Good price for coal. If you can buy it anywhere in the realm of $275 to about $300 a ton, or any bagged up amount that would add up to that, I would say is a good price. But it just really kind of just depends on where you're at in the country. There are no normals or good prices, really, depending on where you're standing financially. If you're not in a great financial position, obviously any price is going to be really too high. If you've got more money than you can shake a stick at, then, no price is too high. You can just, grab something from, you just go grab something from the internet and buy 5-pound bags of coke or coal for $30 each, and it's no big deal. So, Aurora Ironworks, yeah, it's getting late. Good night to you, and thank you for being here. And I appreciate you joining us in this last little stream. I've enjoyed chatting with you all. I'm sorry if I've taken too much of your all's evening. I've really appreciated you guys sticking with me and kind of going down a little bit of memory lane and checking out the old shop before we call our quits here. We will have new content definitely coming out in the new shop. I have a ton of stuff going on. I will still be around. I will still be a figure. You're going to see me at a lot of different events this year. So I will be at all the different events for sure. At SOFA in the fall, at Quad State. Definitely come check out and visit. Sorry, catching up on somebody's comment there. I can't even read that yet. It's kind of a whole diatribe. But yeah, I'll be at SOFA in September. So make sure you check. Come visit. Come visit. That'll be here in Ohio, at the Miami County Fairgrounds in Troy, Ohio. One of the other places will be at the Good of the Land Fest. That will be out in Lindell. I believe it's Lindell, Texas. So come check that out. You can find that over at Jessen's website a little bit more. I think it's goodofthelandfest.com or something like that. .org or anyways, just type that in, Good of the Land Fest or Good to the Land Fest or something like that, and it should pop up. Just Google that, and he should pop up there. So definitely check him out, and I'll be out there in the later part of October. So if you can't find me here on the eastern half of the United States, at SOFA, Southern Ohio Forge and Anvil, for their annual Quad State Roundup, you'll be able to check me out on the western half of the United States, out in Texas. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. Thank you, Doug P. I hope you have a good evening if you're taking off. Appreciate you. Yeah, Newt's Leather Smithy, I'm still on. and I said I wasn't going to be on here long. Look at that. Cool, cool. Good price for lump charcoal. I would say probably no more than $10 a bag, somewhere around there, for lump charcoal. Hello again, Orbo's Army. Yep, surprise, this is still going. It is. I haven't gotten any prettier and boring. I think I'm more boring now than what I was. Yeah, I don't have anything to show you. I feel sorry about that. I feel really sorry about that. Ooh, I know one thing I can do. Try this out here. Just to prove to you all, although you all may not be able to take and see it, we'll see. Camera, see? I have cameras. I've been filming. Let's see what we got here. See what's on this card. Okay, let's go. Here we go. Let's go to this one. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. So see? We just had a forge welding intensive. You can't really see it that great because the camera has a hard time focusing on that. A little bit of a screen. But that was a picture of all the classmates that came to the forge welding intensive. And I did get some film footage. You see? So there is some videos that will be coming out. And that was just from that. And then I've got some time lapses. I have all sorts of things, so that'll be coming out very soon. Ooh, sounds like some challenges are coming. Hey, Dad Rat's Forge. Sam Towns. I wish to challenge Yamez to make a karambit. That's going to get interesting. Yeah, Justin. Good Atlanta. Do you know what the dates are this year? I do not. It's October. It's the end of October. I do know that. It's the end of October. Don't quote me. 26, 27, 26 through the 27th. I don't know. Don't kill the messenger on that. You want to check him out for that, for more of the details. Again, I have to get a few things more nailed down with him. Right now, we're thinking that I'm going to be spending. I'll be spending my time just kind of demonstrating and help teaching the public, just general public or whatever. Sorry if you're wondering what I'm fiddling with. I'm trying to show you some of my progress stuff. You got a little sneak peek. Got a little sneak peek here. Talk amongst yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves. So here's one, and I very rarely reveal any of my family on YouTube, but we'll do this. This was a little walk we were doing to a lighthouse. So that's my kids and wife. We're walking out there to a lighthouse. It's actually right there in Harrisville, so it's a pretty neat deal. And it's real gorgeous right there on Lake Huron. So if I can get it. Again, you guys are getting a little sneak peek. So this is all footage that I still have to do yet. And that's Lake Huron out there. So you can't go inside the lighthouse. Let's see here. I did a whole bunch of filming. Let me try to get out of here. Let me find out where else we were at here. Yeah. Here's another one. So here's the lighthouse a little more up. So. Yeah, so that's like, I don't know, 6 minutes. Not even 6 minutes, like 6 miles. That's like 6 miles down the road from our new house and the new shop. So really looking forward to it. Old and on father, yes. This is the last live stream from Ohio, and we will be moving to Harrisville, Michigan. So that's where we'll be going. Yeah, I got to get out and fishing. So yeah, I think it's pretty. I think it's pretty awesome. Yeah, they do tours to get inside the lighthouse. It was just it's out of season right now, or it was out of season when we were doing it. And then I'm gonna see if I can't show the barn. Hopefully you guys can see this. I don't know how well you can see on your end, but I'll do my best here. So there's the new workshop. And all that you see there is ours. Yeah, so all that all that area there, and then this here, this is like a this is kind of a before. A lot of this stuff isn't even in there anymore, but we've done a lot of cleaning up of the place. You can see how big it is. We got a lot of different clips going on there. But yeah, you guys are seeing this is up from the loft. You guys can see it just fine. Good. Yep. That's a big old gorgeous barn in there, so I'm looking for it. How much chimney are you gonna need for that height? Well, it's 32 feet to the peak. So it's actually 32 feet to the peak of the roof. So I don't know. It's gonna be a bunch. That's that. I don't know if this one shows it any better. So this is from the barn loft looking down. That was us clearing off hay from one of the lofts. That little loft's no longer there. So, anyways, like I said, I've been filming some stuff. There is a lot of great content that's coming up to show the new place. I know everybody's been dying to see it. Those are just kind of some little sneaky peeks for you. Again, she's a big old thing, so can see it so well I can smell it. Yeah, it's cold up there, but I'm gonna enjoy it. So. Seeing things just fine. One other one I want to show you. See if was this one? No, not this one. Hold on. Let me find it here. Sorry. Give me a second there, ladies and gents. She did a really sick time lapse. Jessica did one day. She got a really great time lapse on this place. Yeah, there it is. It's this one. Let me go back. Stop. Okay. You guys are getting the sneak peek. I'm sorry if this is boring, y'all, but I'll only give it a thing, so. There you go. I don't know if you guys see that well. See the sky. Hopefully it's not blown out, but she did this time lapse. I don't know if you can see it or not, the way the screen is. On my end, I can't see the clouds are rolling by. So that's a big old barn. Big, gorgeous thing. Cool. You see it. Yeah, we've spent some long days already clearing stuff out. You guys are just getting a little sneak peek. You know, this is all on the camera. Yeah, it's an old barn. It's 100 years old. So, one portion of it is, anyhow. I'm not so sure about the hog barn. I'm not sure if that was added on a bit afterwards. The under portion that you see there. Yeah, definitely built to last. Definitely built to last. It needs a lot of love. People have been neglecting it for the last decade or so. So I've got some work to do for sure. But I'm looking forward to giving it all the love it needs. It stopped playing. All right, but yeah, there was a ton of hay to take out. It's been a process. It's been a process and a half. I don't know if we got anything else to show. One of these we stopped at a. I'm giving away too many good things. One of these we stopped at a. We actually got a tour of a lighthouse. This was down at Tawas Point Lighthouse. Yeah, and we got to go clear up in the lighthouse itself. So definitely cool, definitely cool. But this was in Tawas, Michigan. So, anyways, enough sneaky peeking. Enough sneaky peeking. Jessica's going to get angry at me. I've shown you guys all that, and we haven't even edited the videos yet. Oh, oh but yeah. Yeah, we're excited. We're excited. If you can't tell, I'm excited. I think there's going to be so much cool content that's going to come out. I think everybody's really going to enjoy this a lot. I think you all are going to enjoy the content that's going to be coming out over the next several months. I'm sorry I've been slack on content here lately, but you know, we're going to get back on track here as soon as humanly possible. I'd like that. Of course, whenever you're doing YouTube, you know, sometimes at a certain point, you get to a point where you start getting some money from AdSense and things like that, right? And videos, and you're looking at and you look at your revenue, and you look at different stuff like that. You know, things like that happen, and you know, it like totally in half. You know, by just not posting content. So you just got to feed the beast, right? But it's important to feed the beast in the right way, and that's kind of the deal. So you know, I don't want to waste people's time with boring stuff or boring content. I just want to make sure that, you know, we put some good stuff up there. So moving shakes things up more thoroughly than a 10-point earthquake. Yeah, it does. And my stuff, dude, it's a mess. It's a mess. I'm like, oh, just move there, offload. I'll figure it out later. And I've got so many I'll figure it out laters. I don't know when later will come. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty crazy. Well, we're definitely up there. We're not a Youper. Somebody was saying something. 360 cam live stream. Yeah, that would be cool from the inside of the shop. Although people said they didn't like the 360 cam last time I did live stream. Now I got the bandwidth, though. I could do a 360 cam live stream probably from my shop, for sure. Oh, wow. Last time I did it, 2 continents and a ocean were involved. Don't envy you. Don't envy you at all. So yeah, so we're looking forward to where the next the next 12 years of our lives are going to hold us. The next 10 years, you know, the next decade or so. I hope to still be doing YouTube and tutorials, and I hope to just still have my health, and I hope to continue to bless people with our business, and you know, continue to support everybody out there out in the blacksmithing community. Not only with the education, but helping people as well in their journeys and whatever we can help with. And so that's Jessica and I's goal. We're going to stick to it. We're going to see where we're at and bring everybody along for the ride. So, but yeah, definitely looking forward to it. So, anyways, I think I'm going to get off here. I'm going to head in. I got an early day again, a whole nother day of packing tomorrow to get onto. But I just want to say, you know, God bless each and every last one of you. Thank you all so much for sticking with us, even though we haven't been posting content and things of that nature. Thank you. Thank you very much for sticking with us, a part of this stream. And as soon as humanly possible, we hope to get everybody some new content on the new place, and get back to our regular selves, if you will. So, anyways. Thank you all for hanging out with me. This was fun. We'll have to do this again very, very soon. So, I will call it it. I'm not going to try to cry or anything, but we're just going to have to. I'll have some time where I have to take a knee and say goodbye to this shop. You know, for sure. It's been good to me. I've been very blessed to have it, and I'm just very blessed, very blessed, highly favored, and just very thankful very, very thankful for the new place and to see, just to see what I can do with it. That's all I want to do is to just to be able to see what I can do with it. So, anyways, we'll bring you guys along with that. I'm not going to get overly sentimental on camera. We're going to cut it there before the tears of remorse and joy start flowing here. Anyways, just say goodnight, shop. And the next time that you guys see me, hopefully the next time you guys see me, we'll be in Michigan, and that'll be that'll be the next live stream that we do. It'll be in Michigan, and hopefully there'll be a lot of videos as well. So, all right, everybody, it was fun. God bless each and every last one of you. We love you out there. Thank you for sticking with us, and we will catch you on the next one. Good night, all. Have a great night.